Have you noticed at this point, when we're talking about F-ism, the F-wordism, womanism, whatever you want to call it, it's always rote, boilerplate bullshit. Well, men and women should have equal rights. I agree. Men and women in the West do. And so it always comes down to, well, we have this thing. We need allies. We need men to help us with getting this thing. It's like, sure. Yeah, I'm for equal rights for everybody. I don't care, what you have between your legs or the color of your skin or, if you're gay or trans, whatever. No. Everyone should have the same rights under the law because that's fair and it is right. But we come across these F-bots and they're like, wow, we need male allies to help us with the fight. It's like, okay, so what is the fight about? What exactly are we talking? And usually you'll get something like, wow, you just need to educate yourself. My lived experience. Well, what about those women in Yemen? You're right. Yeah. Women in some places in the world do not have the same rights as men. That is a different discussion. Because you see, in the West, the F-bots are always talking about all the repression, the patriarchy, which of course is capitalism. They don't like that. They want equal outcome. They don't want equal rights because they have that already. And actually, in some ways, they have more rights. And if you actually gave them equal rights, courtesy of the Equal Rights Amendment, they're not going to like that answer very much. But thus, another video. So let's go and see what this young lady has to say. Her name is Divy, D-I-V-Y, F-Botism. You can also say something, you evil, toxic man. She writes, men often feel rejected from the movement, yet they are the ones who can give us more voices. You can also say something. Okay, tell me what I should be saying. What is it you're fighting for? I mean, it seems like a fair question. What exactly is it? And of course, we all know what it is. It's equal outcome. It's socialism. We get it. But they keep on with this stuff. Well, women are oppressed and men are evil, and especially white men, the patriarchy and all this other bullshit. We know what they're talking about. But yet, it's like this friggin' Pavlovian rote bullshit all the time. So go ahead and take it away, Divy.
What do you think is like the primary blind spot that guys have?
Maybe it's not a blind spot. Maybe men can see through the bullshit. And women. Maybe that's why, 20% of women in the United States identify with F-Botism. Maybe the vast majority of people are looking at you and saying, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, we just need to educate ourselves, right? 80% of the country got it.
About this movement, about feminism, about doing the right thing.
Just doing the right thing. So tell me what it is, the thing that I need to do right, would be my biggest question. What is it? Tell me what you need. And if I agree that you don't have a certain thing, I'm on your side. I'm for equal rights for everybody. But you never point out the thing. That's the point of this video. Go on.
What is it that we're not saying?
I think the word is really difficult because...
Nope. You could call uranium candy, and uranium would still be radioactive. You could call plutonium taffy, and it would still kill you if you had some. It's not the frigging label. It's the movement. This is partially from this idea, especially here in the United States, and I'm sure it's the same in England and Scotland. We cannot blame the thing. They can't accept the fact that the movement is what people have a problem with, not the friggin' name. And so they go off on some tangent. Well, it's the name. It's nothing to do with the name, dear. Simple question, Divy. What the hell is it you want? Tell me what it is and I'm on your side. But you won't, because we know what you want, and most people, they find it very, very unpalatable. Do you get my drift?
It seems to inherently suggest a preferential treatment of the feminine over the masculine.
If we could find a few examples of preferential treatment, for women. In the West, would you be against such things? Oh, you wouldn't, would you? Because past oppression, even though we're not living in the past, are we, Divy? We're living in 2020, 50 or 60 years after the civil rights movement and the women's liberation and all that stuff. Half a fucking century. And yet people like you still complaining that you do not have equal rights, which is nonsense.
Because it has the feminine in the word.
No, there's nothing to do with that.
And I think that's a real oversight. And
Maybe it's not an oversight. Maybe it is a sight. Have you thought about that? Maybe average Joe and Jane, 80% of the country in the United States, and similar numbers in England and over Europe, we look at this and we say the question that I just asked several times: what exactly do you friggin' want? What does the F-Bot movement stand for? What is it that you don't have that you need? That's unfair. Fucking point it out. You would have allies, millions of people. Yes, that is not right. It's not fair. And we need to change the law. And we would demand our politicians change the fucking law. You never point anything out. Never anything concrete. It's all this, well, it's just women. It's bullshit. So maybe it's not an oversight. It's a sight. We see there's nothing there. You're still bitching about things that have been solved for decades, and we'll get to that.
misunderstanding.
Rather than just basic fairness.
Rather than just gender, across, just gender equality across the board. This isn't girls are better than boys, boys are better than girls.
Like I said, if I could find something that favors women in the Western world, would you be against that? Because that is not equality. That would be preferential treatment for women. If I found a couple of things, would you say, yeah, that's not right. We're gonna fight, get that removed. It's not fair. No, we're not.
This is just, everyone deserves a fair chance.
I am on your side, Divy. Yes, everyone deserves a fair chance with no laws, no legal things against people doing what they want with their lives. You have that. So, tell me what the fight is about, and be specific.
At whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm absolutely 100% Divy. So tell me what it is I should be fighting for. That'd be good. No, didn't think so.
I think also because a lot of prejudice and certainly misogyny is so normalized.
You see, misandry, forget about that. It shouldn't even be in the dictionary. Maybe Webster's will just delete it one of these days. It's not real. That's not happening. You're just a conspiracy theorist. It's not true. Shut up.
It's like it's right under people's noses. So when you raise it, there's kind of like we've dealt with that. Women got the vote ages ago. Like, this isn't a thing. And
100 years ago, to be precise. No one is saying, well, okay, there are some guys, those crazy people on Reddit, women shouldn't have the right to vote. Repeal the 19th. It's not going to happen. The cake is baked. It's done and delivered. You're bringing it up now because I guess you think there are some people who want to remove your right to vote. No, not this guy. Not this guy. If that were on the table, I would be putting on my pink hat and marching with you. That is not right. But let's do a thought experiment, dear. You're a young woman, probably in your early 20s. Your grandparents were fighting this battle back in the 60s. But let's just say, dear, I wanted to go out and protest something. Right? There's something here isn't right. We need to protest at the courthouse. We need to march in the streets and hold signs and scream and yell and whatever. And the thing I was protesting, I had a sign that I painted. I made it myself. And it says on my sign, as I'm walking down the street, "End the Vietnam War." And I ran around on the streets with my hat on, the pink hat. And we need to get out of Vietnam. Stop the war in Vietnam, blah, 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 blah. And I was totally, absolutely convinced that we should get out of the Vietnam War. What would you think about my mental condition since the Vietnam War ended 45 years ago, what would you think? Some kind of lunatic? Or would you say, oh yeah, you go. Yeah, man, get out of Vietnam. No, you would say you're freaking nuts. Do you see my point?
And then when you start to kind of unravel it for people, they go, oh, I didn't think about that, or I didn't think about this. And
Could you tell us what the this and that is? Well, I didn't think about this and I didn't think about, okay, what the frig is this and that? Could you define it? You want me to be an ally. You want me to raise my voice in support of F-Botism because of this and that. Give me the this and the that. Just tell me what it is. But you never do. Shocker.
if I were to say I was a feminist, it would be a personal attack on you as a man.
No. No. Now, you can do whatever you want. You can believe whatever you want. That's fine. It's your business. I don't care. It's not an attack on me as a man. Just saying, you might draw some pity because you're obviously something is a little bit,
As opposed to
Schmetzen.
a patriarchal system.
The patriarchy. Let me translate it here. I've got Google Translate up. Let me type that in. Capitalism. What? Patriarchy. Capitalism is the problem. Oh my God, who knew?
Or something much larger than an individual person. I think also men think that they can't be feminists.
I am fully in favor of women having every single right under the law that men do. And you do. You have some more rights than men do. So when I hear this thing, wow, we need this because of that, what the hell are you talking about? Wow. Socialism, yeah.
That's a big misunderstanding. Some of the best feminists I know are men.
And they're all in your friend zone. Yeah. I'll put the link below. James Maxwell, thank you for listening.